What is up, everybody? I am George Mossey. Say hello to my co-host, Heather C. So, Extreme Sisters Season 2, Episode 5 has aired, and there's a lot going on. But before we jump in, there was no Capasso triplets, or I don't want to say that. I want to say Nadia, Catherine, and Hannah, because we know they're sick of being grouped together as one unit. So they were not there. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going on with the vegan Italian restaurant plans with their mom and see how that goes. But I do want to talk about Randy and Jordan, because there was a scene last night with Randy and Jordan that a lot of people found to be really weird, right? So Randy got her braces taken out, which was a long time coming. Her teeth look amazing. Congratulations. I love the way your teeth look. But she wanted Jordan to experience the feeling of what her teeth felt like after the braces came off. And I can only imagine, because they were on for so long and you don't have that feeling. You can't even like feel your teeth with your tongue. So she's like, I need you to feel this. So she had Jordan run her tongue across her teeth. And everyone in America was just kind of taken back by that. And they were like, whoa. And even more so because Derek was not the first person to be all up in Randy's mouth before Jordan was. So I know that the twins feel like they're like, well, we're basically married, we do everything together and the guys are just an addition to our lives. But I don't know, like, how do you feel about that? Would you lick your sister's teeth just to know how it feels?
No, I think I would just take her word for it. But one thing that I've learned from watching these shows is that, like, people that are twins or triplets, they seem to have this like connection that not even like
Mhm.
regular siblings have, probably because like not only do they have the same DNA, but they kind of like seem to have, well, they have the same features. So, I don't know, it's like maybe they feel certain stuff. I hear that a lot. Like
Mhm.
if one is hurting, the other one is hurting, like almost kind of like they share like aches and pains and
Mhm.
feelings and stuff like that. So, I mean, maybe what's like different and weird to us, it's like almost like her licking her own teeth in a way. I don't know.
Right.
But no, it was definitely a little crazy. I mean, they thought it was crazy too, because she's like, I cannot believe I'm doing this, but she did it anyways. But she does have beautiful teeth. I'm so
I
jealous. Like
know.
so
They're
perfect,
perfect.
so like
Mhm.
white, so like clean. Like it just, they look great. The braces did great, and you look amazing. So I'm so happy for you. I know you're happy you got them off.
You're onto something, because if we remember, Jessica knew that Christina was pregnant and they weren't even speaking. So you know that they can feel these things. So she's like, I feel weird. Let me call my sister. And she was pregnant. So speaking of feeling things, Randy and Jordan are sleeping together in the same bed and they're leaving their men out on the couch. And it's okay with Daniel, because Daniel is a loner. Daniel, we get each other. I'm like that. I can spend time alone all the time. Like, I'm totally fine with it. But Derek is not the type. He feels like after $30,000 on a ring to become engaged to Randy, he would like some personal time with Randy. And I feel like that's not a lot to ask, right? It's not even after the honeymoon. Like, they should still be like in the honeymoon phase. I feel like they should be cuddling, because she was like, well, maybe if I wean him off of cuddling and all this sensitivity, he'll be okay. And I'm like, I don't know if that's fair. I feel like he's in love with her. He wants to be with her. He made a huge step that he wasn't even probably ready to make, just to make sure that he could secure her in his life. And I feel like she's abandoning him, because they're like, oh, let's go watch a movie. We're watching a movie. They were just going to bed. They just didn't want anyone to fight with them over it. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like that's okay? Do you feel like it's okay for them to leave their husband and fiance out and just live their own lives, like separate lives?
I mean, to be honest with you, I really don't think they're doing anything horrible or like detrimental, because it's like, first of all, they're all in the same house. So if it was like
Mm.
really, really that big of a deal and like, like end of the world, all he would have to do was go down or up some stairs and like be like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? My feelings are really affected. They probably look at it like, okay, I'm not cheating on you. I'm not with another guy. I'm with
Oh,
my
yeah.
sister. You know where I'm at if you need me. We just want like some girl time. I mean, I get it. I mean, I like to hang out with people too. You just have to basically learn how to make time for everyone. Like you can have your go-to people where you're like, okay, I like to do this with this person. But it's like if you're going to be in a relationship at any point of view, like you have to be able to make some sort of time, even if it's like watching some shows together or like a movie or, go out for dinner, like just something where you're not losing connection. Because they're, like you said, they're newly engaged. They shouldn't be like the honeymoon phase shouldn't be over yet. It didn't even start. So, but because it's her sister and they are so close, I kind of get it because they've been doing this their whole life. They said that from the jump. They're like, we don't really need men. We like them being there. We're happy with each other. So she kind of like, she never lied. She put that out there. So I can't really fault her for it. But I just think to please everybody involved, maybe just time management and making sure that you spend time with people in general, even like their parents, just people in general. Let everybody know you care and they're important and you want to see them sometime of the day.
Well, it makes me wonder because we know that they're twins and their dream was to be married to twins. So these guys are twins. Derek and Daniel are twins. So it makes me wonder, did they fit the mold? And then maybe they don't have as much in common other than they fit the mold. Because I don't really know if the girls do a lot with the boys because we only see what they filmed. We don't really see the girls hanging out with the guys. The guys are with each other, the girls with each other. So it makes me like a little nervous. Like, do they have the connection or did they just fit the mold of twins and twins? And then they're just kind of building something from that. And there isn't like a strong connection or common interest. That's kind of worrying, right?
I kind of like, I try to see past what the show wants to give you because I know a lot of it is always based on shock factor and, ratings and, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. I honestly, in my opinion, I think that they're closer than what it's led to be. And they're giving us this for like the point of view through their eyes. Like, this is like what we like to do. I like to hang out with my sister. So let me give you a behind the scenes look at this. I don't think it has anything to do with the guys at all. It's like, if you follow any of them on social media and you look at like their pictures and stuff, they seem like they're always with them. There's somebody in a picture with them. They seem very close. The wedding was beautiful, like, so I just feel like they're only showing us a one-sided view. That's just what I think.
So I want to talk about Anna and Lucy because they have moved on up for now from having babies at the same time with the same man, which I always thought was going to be a hard task to complete. But they've decided to move on from that. And now they're looking for direction. So their mom, Deanna, apparently can read cups. So she makes them coffee and the girls drink each cup of coffee and then they give their mom, Deanna, the cup and the cup speaks to her and it tells them how they're feeling, what's going on in their mind, and they can see things in the future. And this time around, she got something from their dad. His name is Luigi, who he unfortunately passed away about 12 years ago. And the girls are very connected with him. And they have a dream of opening a restaurant and naming this restaurant Luigi's after their father. And they did tell us that they did work in a nursing home for 7 years, but that wasn't really their dream. It was just a job where they could do the same job, volunteer at the same time, and do the same task. So it did work out, but it wasn't their dream. Their dream is actually to do a restaurant in honor of their father, which I think is an amazing thing. And they went job hunting. And job hunting was very interesting. The management of the restaurants were very confused. And they were like, so you want to wait on the same tables at the same time and do the same thing? But they were like, but you get to pay us one wage. So one manager took the bait. She was like, you know what? I love the idea of 4 hands for the price of 2. So I can have double the help, only have to pay the one person because one person is volunteering. So it's literally no free labor, no law issues involved. They're willingly volunteering their time to help. So you get all of this help. So she's going to give them a trial. And I'm really happy for them because I feel like they haven't had something like work, because they said it's been years since they've even thought about trying work because people just didn't understand them. So how do you think this is going to go? If you went to a restaurant and you got twins as your waitresses, do you feel like you would get amazing service because they can carry double the stuff and you'll have refills twice as fast? Or do you feel like it'll be weird?
Okay, for some strange reason, I don't think I would find it weird. I think that like I would actually like be on board with it, but I think I would expect more because like you said, there's double the hands, double the help. So like you better be on it. Like, I shouldn't have an empty glass. Like, I better
Yes.
have bread on my table. Like, there just better be, this grade A service. But the part that I think is going to go sour is that no one ever said that one was going to carry the drinks, one was going to carry the food. They said, we need to do everything at the same time. So that indicates that it's going to be slow, because if you're both holding a cup, you're going to walk slowly so you don't drop it. If you're both carrying a tray of bread, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, okay, Anna, you go get the drinks. I'm going to go get the salad. You go get the pizza. They're not going to do that, because they don't do that with anything else. They're going to be like, okay, we got to do this at the exact same time. Like, you put 1 foot forward, I put 1 foot forward. And I think that that's going to cause this to be a greater mess than if they just had one person, because now they're going to be like going twice as slow because they're trying to act as one. And as far as their mom being able to read cups, that's intriguing to me, because I've always thought that like the whole psychic thing was really cool. I always thought, like, I had so many questions. Like, I know like Jess and Christina and them know how to, like, read stuff, and like I find it so like kind of cool. Like, I just have so many questions. Like, how do you know? Like, do you ever play the lottery? Like, do you know like only certain things? Like, can you talk to the deceased? Like, I don't know. Like, how much can her mom see? Like, what is she seeing? Is this like her subconscious mind of what she wants, and she's telling her kids and making it look like it's the future, but it's really like what she secretly wants for them?
That's kind of where my mind went, because I know when their mom Deanna wanted grandkids and she wanted to get the girls back on board with having kids, she got them the dolls. And that experiment did go really well up until they got some real babies in their arms, and then they saw that it's not going to be easy. But I do know that, what if she feels like it's time for them to get a job? She wants them to get out and make some money and maybe pursue this dream of opening this restaurant, because they kind of put it on the back burner. Like, what if she's just helping them along in the process? I don't want to question her psychic ability. She may be an amazing psychic, but I do know that she's in a good position to kind of give them a push and a nudge, because when and putting their dad into it and making the restaurant about him, I feel like that's really a good way to put a fire under the girls and make them want to make sure that this dream takes place and happens. And getting a job is the first step, and I feel like that is going to test their limits. And I feel like testing their limits and maybe letting a few things slide that aren't exactly the same can always be good in this situation, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if it's real, or if she is helping it along, or, a little bit of both, maybe.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of both. I think that this is good for them, and I definitely feel like them dedicating their time to work and working together, I feel like it's going to make them feel closer, and it is going to let in some things that are a little different, and different is good. All right, guys, that's it for part one. We have to come back with part two, because we saw V and Ashley's mom, Dana, have a very, very heated conversation. So we have to talk about that. And there was a double date with Jess and Christina and John and Josh that we just have to talk about. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. Follow my co-host Heather C too. Her links are right here at the bottom. I'll talk to all of you guys really soon.